But thank you all for coming out. Are you Justice Dad? Who's Justice Dad? You're Justice Dad. Thank you for coming. Your son held a very special place for a lot of us. I am not gonna cry. Yes, you are. Let me breathe through the nose. Key to not crying: you breathe through the nose, out the mouth. But anywho,
I wish I knew that.
So we want to thank you for coming out. Our class is a very, very close class. Justin was very, very close to a lot of people. His spirit, his smile was very important to a lot of us. I'm so glad that we got to see him last summer. Because that's something that a lot of us can hold on to. I want to give an inside joke to my shirt. I have on Mr. T because a lot of you may know I was a little bit of a hellraiser, just a little bit. A little bit. And Justin used to always say he pitied the fool. Did anybody mess with me? So that was the reason why I wore my Mr. T shirt today. But thank you for coming. I want to thank everybody else for coming. His WVLT family is here, to my understanding. I have not walked around and shook hands, but thank you guys for coming as well. Justin meant a lot to a whole lot of people. Obviously, if we all could hop plane and go, I'm pretty sure we all would. So thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, kid, give us a toast. Somebody give us a toast. No pressure.
Hey, Kent, tell everybody Allison's watching on Periscope, please.
So evidently Allison's watching on Periscope. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, is she?
And I'm out of beer. And Lauren paid for my beer.
I will help you out.
I'm good. Well, I should take the opportunity to describe at least the first time I ever met Kropff. It was 25 years ago. Breathe through the nose. Is that it, Tiffany?
Breathe through the nose, out the mouth. Inhale.
So, if anybody hung out with us in 8th grade in the basketball crew, Kropff showed up in 9th grade and thought he was the next big thing in Bearden High School. And for many of us, we were like, who is this guy? But the first time I ever met him was in the very front of Bearden High School, and if there was anything that I didn't realize at the time, he's such a genuine person. Roy and I were talking earlier. As we kind of gravitated through high school, Kropff was one of those people that brought everybody together. It didn't matter who we were, where we came from, what we represented. He always made us all feel important. And, that's the most important thing, I think. If you take anything from this point forward, take that together with life and just use that, because that was Kropff. He was always, an includer and always big in terms of it didn't matter who you were, he was always talking to you. And I think everybody has those moments, those memories, that if you met him 5 minutes or if you knew him for 25 years, you felt like you knew him just as long as anybody else. It didn't matter. So to that, cheers and toast. Cheers.
Cheers. Anybody else want to say something? Anyone?
Where's yours?
I am Father Tony Budnick. I happen to be a Catholic priest, and I used to work with Justin at WVLT. I've actually only been a priest for about a year. I spent about 16 years in the local television broadcast industry, mostly at WVLT. And Tyler asked me, and some of the other folks asked me to come and maybe do a little service here that was a little bit more, ecumenical and things. So if we just want to pause for a second and put ourselves in a kind of a thoughtful, prayerful situation, and then I've got some scripture to read and maybe just a little bit of a eulogy to talk about Justin and some of the wonderful things about his life. So let's just pause a moment to put ourselves in a prayerful situation. Some scripture that I picked out that I think it sums up I think God's plan for each of us. I'm going to read from John 6:37 through 40. Jesus said to the crowd, "Everything that the Father gives me will come to me, and I will not reject anyone who comes to me, because I came down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of the one who sent me. And this is the will of the one who sent me, that I should not lose anything of what he gave me, but that I should raise it up on the last day. For this is the will of my Father, that everyone who sees the Son and believes in him may have eternal life, and that I shall raise him up on the last day." This is the first time, as I sat down last night to write a few words about Justin, that I I realized that I am doing a funeral or a memorial service for someone of such a young age. You know, death is hard, death is difficult when someone is old or advanced in their years, like our grandparents. But death is especially difficult when it's someone as young and is full of life and potential as Justin. But I think today's reading from the Gospel of St. John gives us hope that Justin is now in a better, pain-free place, where his body has been healed of all that has ailed him for so many years. And he has returned to the totally healthy, vibrant, carefree, happy-go-lucky guy that we all came to know when we worked with him, especially for those who worked with him at Channel 8. I took a look at what Allison wrote about her husband online in his obituary, and it summed up Justin's infectious personality to a T. She wrote, "If you didn't know Justin when you walked into a crowded room, by the end of the night, chances were very good you would know him and you would like him upon leaving." Justin had his wonderful smile, his infectious laugh, and an ability to just draw you into his world and make you feel so very good and so very special. When I worked with him in the sports office, I never thought he had a bad day. Even seeing him on the morning after some of his worst hangovers from a too late night, probably here at Toddy, had nothing to do with it. Justin never complained that he felt like crap. He just came to work and did his job, and even somehow managed to do it pretty darn well despite his horrible hangover. And I think that was how, over the past couple of years, he and Allison courageously fought his horrible and painful disease. While many of us, including myself, would have more easily given up on life, Justin met this battle head on, all while keeping his positive attitude and that wonderful smile. I saw a Twitter post from him just a few weeks ago from back in middle July, and I was shocked to see him looking so darn good and so happy on his anchor set with Allison that was just weeks before his death. I looked at him and I thought, my God, we have all aged. But Justin looked exactly the same, despite all of his ailments. Amazing, I thought, but that was Justin. His glass was always overflowing and it never got empty. So I think that is what we should each take from his awesome life. His ability to always have fun, to hardly ever have a bad day, and to see the joy, the happiness, and the good in so many things and so many people. My friends, life is sometimes very difficult, and each of us can let it all, even Justin's untimely passing, get us down. But that Justin would never want that for any of us. As Justin is looking down from heaven on all of us this very moment, he's telling us to have one for him, to laugh, to have fun, to enjoy the afternoon in his honor. Instead of telling us that he's bummed and that he died too soon, at too young of an age, of course, Justin would totally focus on all the good that he did, all the joy and laughter he brought to so many people, all the lives he touched at Bearden, at UT, at WVLT, the chambers he worked at, even his own public relations firm. You know, Dino Cartwright's not here with us today because he's out at Fox Den Country Club continuing the work that Justin began when he was working at the chamber doing a charity event for all of the kids that's going to take part in the Open that's coming up this week, sponsored by the News Sentinel. You know, Brian Gregory, I talked to him on the phone last week. He can't come in from Kansas to come here for the memorial service, and he can't come to the funeral next week, unfortunately, but he's going on a hiking trip with his dad on a mountain. And I think I told Brian, and I think Justin would be telling Brian to go and reach your goal, get to the top of that mountain and have a blast doing it, all in my honor. That's the awesomely fun and free-spirited life and inspiration that Justin, I think, was to each of us. So if all of us here are to take anything away from Justin's too short of a life here on this earth, I believe it's his zest for life, his zest for fun, his zest for happiness, and his ability to see good and make joy even out of the most tragic of situations. So then this afternoon, moving forward, let us honor our friend Justin Kropff by trying our best to live just a little bit more like he lived. With a smile on our face, with laughter, with a lightheartedness that would even make a total stranger feel like he was the most important and special person in the entire world. Because they were in Justin's presence. You know, Justin always had a knack for talking to anyone. And at times, when I was really upset with my former news director, Steve Crabtree, and I wanted to literally kill him, Justin always had an ability to talk me down from the ledge. There was a couple crazy people, two crazy people that called into the sports office all the time. One was named Jeff. Every single day he wanted to call because he had no life. And we all wanted to hang up on him. And Justin talked with him. Justin gave him the time of day. On Friday nights, this weird guy would call, "We got scores for you tonight." Justin would always talk to him too. He always took time for the people that I found the most annoyance. You know what? It made me look at my life and say, you know what? I need to be a better person. I need to be a little bit more like Justin Kropff. Because no matter how much people seem to bother us from time to time, nothing ever bothered Justin. No one ever bothered Justin. He had the time, the care, the love to take time to talk to even the people that sometimes probably annoyed him too, but he never let it show. And I think that's what we need to take forward, pay it forward in our lives now, that Justin always going to be with us. And I think in Justin's memory, may we all do a little bit more in our lives to care for some people just a little bit more, to love some people, and to certainly make good friendships with people at times that even may annoy us just a little bit. So in Justin's honor, let us continue his life of care, love, compassion, and joy, and lightheartedness with his great smile. That will be the greatest memory, how we can continuously honor him for the rest of our lives by carrying forward and paying forward those wonderful traits that made Justin Kropff such an important part of each of our lives. To Justin Kropff, may his memory always live on in all of our memories, in all of our actions and interactions with each other. Amen. 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 Thank you.
So let's get a group picture. I think that would be awesome to send to Allison. So,
Mr. Kropff, did you want to say something first?
Joe?
Oh, my fault. Yeah, go for it.
I'll say something while I can. I've got the feeling now that I'm just following the Pope, so I'm going to do the best I can. Somebody recently told me that Justin was a younger version of me. That is so far from the truth. When Justin walked into a room or a crowd, he owned that crowd. He owned the room and made it his own. Everybody in there, he dragged them into his life. They became part of his life. His life became part of theirs. That's a gift. That's rare. When something like this happens to someone so young, we all ask why. We want answers. It's hard. It's hard on all of us who loved him. But there are answers out there. If I can read. I think there was a reason to this. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. The Bible tells us, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you." In Romans chapter 8, verse 29, the Bible says, "For whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be firstborn among many brethren. God chose Justin. He sent him here on a mission. He gave Justin gifts. Justin had the gift of encouragement. He had the gift of sharing. I'll ask God why. God sent Justin here. Go make a difference. Go change people's lives. And that's what he did. I thank you for being here. I will miss him. You will miss him. We will love him. Thank you very much. God bless
you. Everybody's wiping. Anybody have anything else to say? Anybody? No? Nobody wants to cry. That's okay. Well, I'm going to say one more time to thank everybody for coming. We wanted this to be sort of a celebration. Of course, there's going to be tears because everybody's going to miss him. Like you said, that was a spirit that can be replaced. And you do ask why when it's that type of person. Why so early? Why now? But unfortunately, some of those answers will never come. So we just have to accept things for what they are. It doesn't get easier, but you learn to live with the decisions that have been made by God. So you just have to keep going. Again, thank you, everybody. If the tears fall, let them fall because you're happy, because you thought happy thoughts, not because you were sad. I don't think you would want that. So, before they stream down my face, thank you again.
Thank you.
Let's do a picture over here. So everybody just kind of bunch up.
Dab the cheese. Fresh in the face.
Say hi to Allison.
Hi, Allison. Love to you, sweetie. Be strong. Baby.
All right, I'm going to get in the picture, so hang on. Squeeze it somewhere.
All right, Maggie, your call. Yeah, tall people are very tall, Maggie.
If you can swap.
So they're singing?
Oh, Jesus.
We're live, baby.
Don't hurt myself.
Hurry up, take this, Tyler, before my kneecap kills somebody in the front row.
Hold on to me, and when we fall, we'll
shoot about a dozen. So just keep your eyes open and smile. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. 6. It's thinking.
Well, girl, these knees
It says clean the lens contact.
That's good.
Oh, man, that's a knee rest.
Oh, my knees are crying. Okay, there you go.
All right, we got him.
Good deal.
Good job, everybody. Good job.
Still alive. You want to say hi to Allison?
Hey, Allison. Hey, we'll see you next week. I'm coming down with Bob, and Lee's coming down as well. God bless you.
Okay, brother. Thank you.
Very good. With ADLT and Kylie.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Are you doing okay?
We'll talk. Let's talk. I'll get some contact info for you. Hey, Allison's watching.
Words cannot express, Allison, how sorry I am for you. Justin was an awesome person, and your relationship is so beautiful. And just know that he'll be with you every single day, and you'll feel his presence with you. And, just take advantage of those grace-filled moments, dear. They'll be in my prayers.
Hey, David, do you have a big night?
You're not leaving, are you? No, I've got about 20 minutes. Okay, I'll get you before you leave. Dinner party.
Okay, I'll get you before you leave. You're on it, baby.
Hi, Allison. We're really going to miss Justin. He's such an awesome guy. We miss him at the gym. People at the gym have already talked about how much they miss him. So, God bless and pray for you.
Thank you, brother. Hang on, Alice. I'm going to show you what. Not yet. I'm going to show you what's over here. Hang on. Thank you, Bob. Hey, you got it, man. Good to see you. Hey, lady, how you doing? Good. How's it going? Good. Allison's still on board here. You guys want to say hi to Allison?
Not able to make it each couple flying in and have to actually fly out. My wife and 4 other couples are on that flight on Friday and Sunday. Like 65 both ways, and then you add in the
You got something going on. Hold
On
on.
this table over here, we have a book that we would like everybody to sign for the Beard and Crew. Lee has a card. Please make sure you sign that. That's going to go to Allison. And if you are giving any donations today, Rob is going to take those donations because we're going to send that to Allison as well. From our class. Because we're going to send that to Allison as well. So if you are standing here hearing my voice, which everybody is, I'm pretty sure they hear me down Kingston Pike. Make sure you remember to sign the book, and Beard and people, make sure you remember to sign the card. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Perfect.
I stopped. You're right. How'd you do that, periscoping? All right, guys. Good to see you all. Allison, we love you. And we'll see you in a week or so, all right? All right.